Hello, Journey of You community, and happy Tuesday. Today, I want to talk to you about your story, specifically your story of purpose and what makes you who you are. So, there are a few questions I want to start with that I want to get you thinking about in terms of your story. Because oftentimes we're either defined by our story or we see our story as our identity, like what we went through or who did something to us or how we felt about it. But there was a purpose placed in you before you were even formed in your mother's womb. And it was prior to any of those things happening. God designed you with a certain purpose in mind in order to build his kingdom and bring him glory. And so that's what I want to talk about today, that part of your story, because everything that you've gone through is a part of your story. And ultimately, it has shaped your character and personality of who you are today, but you were still that person that he formed from the beginning. And that's what I want to help you get back in touch with. So the first thing I want you to think about is, who are you? And when someone asks you that, what do you say? Is it your titles? Is it your roles? Is it your family ties, your accomplishments, names that other people have given to you or labeled you as, the opinions of other people? Like, what do you say when someone says, who are you? What is your answer? Do you reference things that you did in high school or things that were from the good old days? Like, oh man, I used to be this and I used to be that. Who are you right now, present day? Not who you were in high school or 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or even 5 years ago. Who are you right now today? And do you even know? Okay. Self awareness is the key to everything that you do in your life. You won't know what you like or who you are if you don't spend time getting to know yourself and learning who you are. That means there's moments that you do have to spend time alone. It can't always be with other people or surrounded by friends or in this activity and that activity. You have to take the time to be still and get to know who you are. So that's one question I want you to answer. The next one is, what makes you tick? Like, what is that thing that drives you and gets you going when you get up in the morning that it's like, oh, I can't wait to do this, or I wish I was doing this? What is that for you? I want you to write that down. And I'm sorry, I should have told you to get a piece of paper before we started and a pen, or grab your phone so you can put notes, in your notes tab, or even your computer. If you're driving, just listen, just take mental notes that you can think about later. But what makes you tick? When you wake up in the morning, what's that thing that you were like, oh, if I could hit the ground running doing this, I would still be doing it. If money wasn't an option, or if I had, all the resources that I needed and I could be doing really what I wanted to do, it would be this. Think about that. What is your passion? That cause that really touches your heart. Or another way to think about it could be like, what bothers you the most that you want to fix or be the solution for? All of these things are clues to your purpose. So that thing that you're passionate about that you'd love to be doing, or that thing that really just tugs at your heart, like, maybe it's when you see the homeless and you really want to find a way to either open a shelter, or maybe it's, victims of domestic abuse and you want to be able to find, a program or create a program to help them. Maybe it's single parents that are struggling and you yourself have been there and you're like, nope, I want to help them and I know that they need this. What is it, that thing that you'd like to provide for other people? And sometimes the clue is things that you've gone through and that you've struggled with. And you're like, I don't want the next person to go through the same thing I did. And so this is how I want to fix it. Write those things down. Now, I do want to throw out the disclaimer. And I don't even know if I want to call it a disclaimer, but just kind of a aha moment maybe, that now is not the time for you to give up or throw in the towel or quit. If you are still breathing, you still have something to do. So even if you haven't figured it out yet, that doesn't mean that you're just going to keep skating by and be like, okay, well, I'll figure it out at some point. Nope, the time is right now. Every day that you open your eyes and wake up, it is your opportunity to do and be better and to make a difference and impact in the life of someone else. That is why you're still alive and breathing. And so you need to figure out what that is. And you can ask God. he will reveal it to you. If you don't know, he'll reveal it to you. Another way to figure it out is to get people who are close to you. Ask them, like, what do you see in me? Or what do you think my purpose is? Or what do you think my gifts are? They will tell you. People who really are for you and genuinely love you sometimes can see things that you might not see in yourself, simply because you might not have the confidence that you need. You might have a lack of self-esteem. Maybe you've tried so many things that you're not quite sure, and that's okay. That's why we have other people around us. We're made to do this life together. Iron sharpens iron. And so ask other people around you. It could be your coworker, it could be your boss, it could be your friend, your sibling, your spouse, your parent. There are people around you that can see the things in you that sometimes you can't see yourself. So it's okay to ask other people and see what they think. I do want to tell you that the enemy roams around like a lion seeking whomever he can devour. And he's constantly going to look for ways to distract you, to break your focus. He uses stress, anxiety, turmoil, anything he can to shift your thinking away from these things so that you have less time to spend pursuing and fulfilling purpose. So even right now, while you're listening to me and you're trying to think of those things, he could be bringing up negative things or opinions of other people or their labels, or where you tried to step out on faith before and, oh, it failed. Oh, well, that door closed. Why are you bothering? Those are the things that you've got to silence and trust God. And so I don't want to ask you these questions and talk to you about fulfilling purpose and not give you some actionable steps that you're able to take to keep moving forward in your journey towards purpose, discovering it and fulfilling it. And so I have 4 action steps that I want to share with you. 1, you want to find positive things to feed your mind. And I don't mean getting all of your opinions or, all your facts or whatever you want to call it from social media or from boo-boo down the street. I mean actual reputable places, because you are a reflection of the 2 or 3 people that you spend the most time with. And so if you can't find a specific mentor, or you can't, find a positive friend or influence nearby, there's a plethora of resources you can get them from. So that starts with a book. You can find a good book that you want to read. Maybe it's about self-esteem. Maybe it's about setting boundaries or overcoming trauma. Whatever it is that you need to start shifting your mindset to be able to think with purpose, you get it. So there's books. You can read books. You can get audiobooks. You can get them in paper, like in print, or you could read them in like your Kindle. Podcasts. Find a good podcast that you can listen to. This one's a great place to start. Where you can just get that encouragement, on a regular basis. And you can download it and listen to it as many times as you need to. But that way you can start reprogramming your brain to start thinking positively. And each time a negative thought comes, you're able to replace it with something positive. That's the same with scripture. That's the best book you can read right there. It's an entire manual on your life and how to live it. Go in there. It's a living, breathing document that here we are, all these thousands of years later, that it's still relevant right now today. And so you go in there and find the scriptures that you need to help keep you moving forward. So a book, a podcast, the Bible, just those positive messages that you can continually listen to. There are lots of sermons and motivational things on YouTube. If you'd rather, watch the video, you can do that as well. But just find something that can positively feed your mind on a regular basis to help you start shifting your mindset to think with purpose. Secondly, you want to surround yourself with positive people. People that are going to pray with you, people that are going to encourage and uplift you, people that are going to tell you the truth. You don't want people that are just going to tell you what you want to hear. You want people that are going to tell you the truth and be able to, hold you accountable, and push you towards your God-given purpose and push you towards God. If there are people who are pulling you away from him or telling you things that don't actually line up with what he's confirmed in your spirit, those are the people that you want to spend less time with, or no time at all, so that you can, be around people who are positively supporting you. So even if that's a support group, find one of those where maybe people are on that same journey with you. That's how it is in the community for the journey of you. We're in there together, walking this journey of life. Each person, has different life experiences and different things that they're walking through, but we're all doing it together and holding each other up. And so that's the same thing that you want to be able to do, is find that type of community and support based on what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go, or even what you're currently dealing with, so you can move forward. Counseling, that's also good. Find a counselor, and if one doesn't work for you or mesh well with you, that's okay. find another one, but focus on your mental health, because everything that you do, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. That is the whole foundational basis of the journey of your community, because it starts with how you think and view yourself. And I want to help you be able to think with purpose and line up how you see yourself the way that God sees you. So, counselor, a support group, just positive people that you can have in your life. Number 3, I want you to write out your vision. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain that he may run that reads it. That means you too, not just other people who read your vision, but you. It's to encourage and empower you so that each time you read it, you're like, okay, that's what I'm working towards. So every time the enemy does try to bring in that distraction, or, life is happening and you might get off track for a little while, you can go back and read it again and say, okay, let me get back on track. Here's the next step. Here's what I need to do next. It will help you keep progressing forward and make that forward movement that you need in order to be able to fulfill purpose. We are lifelong learners. We will forever be evolving, but you want to keep taking those steps forward, not backward, and you don't want to be stagnant. So write it down. That way you can plan out your goals and, what are you going to put on your calendar? Hey, can you do this? Oh, no, I need you to do this over there. Hey, can you do this? Well, now you can actually look at your vision and you can look at your calendar to determine which of those activities that people are asking you to do fits in with where you're trying to go. They want you to come over here and sell paparazzi. This one over here wants you to come and, start selling this network marketing, company. This one over here is like, no, come sell insurance with me. But none of those are lining up with the purpose of what you want to do. So any time and investment that you spend in those things, it is right for some people. But I'm just saying, if it's not part of what's on your vision, what you've written down, it's okay for you to say no. No is a complete sentence. I just want you to know that. I want to remind you that no is a complete sentence. And so if what they're asking you to do doesn't line up with it, don't add it on your calendar. Just politely say, no, thank you. Then if it's, oh, well, I want you to join this committee, or no, I want you to be a part of this program. Well, can you plan this? If it doesn't line up with what you're trying to do, you can say no, because you have to maintain your peace and you have to take care of yourself. Self-care is the best care. And so if it disrupts your peace or takes away from you being able to have time to take care of yourself because you're already taking care of everybody else already, if that means you've got to cross you off the list or disrupt your peace in order to accommodate somebody else, that's a red flag as big as day, telling you that you need to say no and choose yourself. Not in a negative or selfish way, but you have to take care of you because you can't pour from an empty vessel. So write that vision down. And as you're planning out your calendar, put your time for self-care on there. Put time to maintain your peace. Make sure you schedule that. You are a priority on your calendar as well. So make sure you write that down. The more things that you are able to write out, the more clearly you can see it and be able, again, to be able to take those requests and say yes or no. Okay. The 4th thing I want to say is get yourself an accountability partner or a coach, which they can be one and the same if you need them to be. But each of us, again, is on that lifelong journey. We're lifelong learners. So you need a coach in your corner that's able to help show you, okay, you're at this step. Let's go to the next step. Okay, I see your progression. Great. This is the next step you need to go to. That person that can just keep pulling you forward and pulling out of you everything that has been placed in you so that you can truly become the person that God created you to be. And so, again, just as a recap, find positive things to feed your mind. Surround yourself with positive people. That includes a counselor and support group. Write out your vision and then find yourself an accountability partner or coach. By doing those 4 things, you can really, really solidify what your purpose is, who you are, what you were sent here to do. That way you're able to take the steps that you need to truly become all that God created you to be. And so, of course, I'll tell you that in the Journey of You, we have a community, a support group that you can use if you need it. Also, I can coach you if you need a coach to be able to help you stay accountable and keep getting those next steps that you need to keep moving forward. And there's lots of books, podcasts, resources that you can use. And I have some even listed on the website. So if you go to thejourneyofyou.net, you'll be able to get plenty of them there, because ultimately, I just want to help you change your mindset so that you can think with purpose. And again, become all that God created you to be and use your gifts to reach the people that you were called to. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I hope this helps you on your journey to think with purpose. Remember, it's your journey. It's where your life begins.